Anybody that's on, let me know how the sound and picture are, please. We'll get going momentarily. Just getting set up. Email going out. Browser notification going out. Jim says hair is looking dapper today. The only part of that bothers me is today. I actually need to get it cut. I may go this week. Well, it'll probably be next weekend because this is WrestleMania weekend. Priorities. Alexis says, hola, Chris. Hi. Nice try. Almost got me. Hi, Amazon Echo and Legitters. Chris says, can hear and see great. Awesome. Good to hear. Or read, I guess. I put 1 p.m. on the post, and it was actually 3 p.m., so hopefully that's not too problematic. That's what I get when I try to copy and paste. Sounding good, looking cool as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't have any particular topic today, but we're going to give away some Superstar SEO Academy. Keith says, hey, Chris. What's up, Keith? Always a pleasure. If you have anything you'd like to talk about, any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, musings, ponderings, other acronyms for that, let me know. I really do need to start coming into these with an agenda. This was a last minute decision, which is probably how, well, it's not probably, it's definitely how I live my life more often than I should. Keith says, now we know what your desk looks like. Yeah, let me bring that up. Keith, or not Keith, but somebody in the Superstar SEO Facebook group was asking about what your workstation looks like. So we brought that up. Let me see if I can find it. This will be like Inception because I'll be broadcasting from it, but you'll be able to see it at the same time. All right. Yeah, that's basically what my setup looks like. That's where I'm sitting as we speak. So, and you can see who I've been talking to as well. And you can see Bang Energy there and the Legiit wallpaper and my dishes. So yeah, I don't know. It's all right. It's nothing cutting edge, but it works for me. Blog Cave says, I'm winning today. Best of luck. I hope you do. One of these days, you're going to have to teach me how to say your name, though, because I feel bad calling you Blog Cave, but I also would feel bad going Oluwashwan and not getting it right. So I would rather do that. But yeah. Decent turnout so far. It's, you know, again, it does better when I have a specific thing to talk about, but I was not that prepared today, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Grab some water. Can't believe I just said it is what it is. I freaking hate that expression. It means nothing. Very dry today. It's been a good week, at least for me. I hope it has been for everybody else. Let's go ahead and not jump on, but at least get a shot for Instagram as well. So in 2 seconds, everybody say, hey, Instagram. All right, and go. Live on Facebook and YouTube, and now we're showing Instagram what they're missing because they make it so hard to do video. right. Well, everybody's quiet today. Hey, Instagram. You tried. You could do the short form of Seon. Sion. See, I can't even get that right. Alexis says, I've been reading a lot on Web 2.0s lately. Is setting up new accounts on these blogs even worth it these days? Or is the supposed link power from the expired domains that you can buy? So the only way I really use them, well, there's two things I do. Only one of them is really important. And I wouldn't even go as far as saying is important. So basically, what I would do is, you got your Weebly, your WordPress, all that stuff, is I would create some sites, like 10 or something, that are your brand name. So Alexis's site.weebly.com, and make it look a little bit nice. And that's about all I do with them and then link over to your site. And that's just to build up some trust and things like that. As far as like pure ranking power, they don't really have too much effect. And then sometimes you can get away with keywords that way too. So keyword.weebly.com and then a link. But again, it's not that powerful. So that's kind of my take on that. Some people swear by them, and do hundreds or thousands of them. Other people say they don't work at all and aren't worth the time at all. I fall in the middle a little bit, more toward they're not useful, but they do have some slight uses. I don't even find them to rank that well as parasites anymore. Because when was the last time you saw any really Web 2.0 except for maybe Medium ranking at all? So that's just something to consider. A lot of times Google will tell you stuff like that, right? You don't that's your clue on whether it works. I get asked, because I used to do a lot of lead gen through video, and I still get asked about it from time to time, and you don't really see too many video, especially for local search terms, in SERPs anymore. So that's why what I tell people when they ask. Keith says, any updates on the DFY monthly SEO service? Yeah, I launched that, or I relaunched that back, I want to say 2 weeks ago. Let's see if I can't bring that up. The maps one I have not put together yet. There's only so many hours in the day, and the amount of nonsense that you have to go through running a business is just insane. The different, I can't even think. The different, where is it? All the different red tape and stuff you have to go through has been taking up too much of my time lately. Yeah, there you go. And of course, I will drop the link to it because I'm a shameless self-promoter. So there's that. I hope that answers that. Let me jump back on camera. Yeah, the maps one I haven't put together yet. I haven't quite decided how to structure that yet. I may not end up doing it. I don't know, because I have a feeling that the expectations are going to be higher than what lost my train of thought again, than what is feasible, but we'll see. There still seems to be a good demand for Web 2.0. Yeah, there is. I mean, like I said, they do have their uses, and other people I know swear by them. So it's just a matter of opinion. This is something that a lot of people in SEO have a hard time with, is that there's no right or wrong answer. So just because I don't think that they're a powerhouse doesn't mean they can't be. You know what I mean? So you just have to figure out what's best for you and what's the best use of your time and what your favorite strategy is. Vasco says, hey, since we don't have a theme for this live stream, here's a question. It's been the hardest thing you've had to overcome this past month, work or non-work related? Over the last month is a lot of Well, there's two things. One has been, there's been a lot of like procedural business crap I've had to deal with that's taken up too much of my time. You know, you have to fill out this license and this permit and all this other regulatory horse shit that they make you do to have the privilege of doing business. So I've had to spend more time on things like that than they have. And I've been frankly a little, I don't want to say burned out, but I haven't been out of Horry County where I live in 2 years, and I'm ready to get away for a little bit, and I'll be traveling a little bit in June. So that's probably the other one. Keith says you need to outsource. Yeah. Honestly, I've gotten to the point where there's nothing left for me to outsource of the things that I do. So that's a unique question. John Wick asks, what's up, Chris? Can you do a backflip? Not anymore, I don't think. I can still do a cartwheel, though. I can't do a kip up, and that's one of my goals in life, is to be able to do a kip up because they look so cool. I've never been able to pull one off, even when I was in like peak shape when I was doing martial arts and stuff. But I can jump really high, and I can do a cartwheel. That's not what you ask, but it's close. Keith says, thanks. Thank you. Alan said, what is up with your Facebook picture? What are your thoughts on press releases for business sites? Should they be directed to homepage or GMB? I like to do them to whatever page it is you're trying to highlight. So whether it's an inner page or a home page, but not to a GMB. I don't see much value in that. Daniel, who was, if I'm not mistaken, a winner last time we gave away a free month, said, let's say you have a GMB verified in New York. You have a GMB verified in New York. No. Anyway, but I'm targeting LA with no LA location. Could this be optimized to rank for LA, or should I stop dreaming? You should stop dreaming. You can target organic, but you don't need to optimize it a GMB for. I mean, if you wanted to get a location in LA or even a fake GMB, although I'm not a fan of those, you could do that, but you can't optimize the one with the New York address for LA, if that's what you're asking. Adrian says, cool beard, Chris. Thanks. I just haven't shaved in a while. I'm probably going to do so this weekend. I actually like how I look with a beard, but it's too much maintenance. Any new awesome features on Legiit coming this April or May? Yes. I see what I did there? Alexis, is your Google Maps course still current, or maybe you're planning to update it soon? I'm asking in case I should wait for the updated version, but I find it interesting. So that course is yes and no. So everything in it is still valid. Although some of like the way things look may have changed since then, but there are things in it that I do, or there are things that I do now that are not in it. And I haven't updated it in a while because all of my like training goes into Superstar SEO Academy. So yes, it'll cover all the basics that you need for Google Maps, but it's not really comprehensive anymore. That's why it's only like $17 now. Daniel says, thanks. Thank you, Daniel. Simo says, hey, Chris. Hey, what's up, Simo? It's been a while. Hope you're well. Jim says, may or may not be a version 3 in the works. See, there you go. You show up, you get insider info. And since there is a break in the commenting, I'm going to grab some water. Ahmed says, is there any free courses, buddy? So yeah, you have a chance to win a free month of Superstar SEO Academy here. You can go to legitfreelancingmastery.com to find a free freelancing course. You can find a free, very basic SEO course at SEO101.training. And then I have a freelancing course on my YouTube channel that's free as well. Cameron says, hey, Chris and Walker. Hey, Cameron, how are you doing, my friend? Jim says, happy to see Buddha has joined the live stream. Yeah, Mohawk Buddha. I made a point to find a way to work him into the picture. So he's a bit out of focus, but that's okay. It's better than nothing. One thing that does bother me, though, is that he should be facing the door, and he's not. And I can't find a way to get him on camera and face the door. And that does bother me. I guess I could move it over there or something, but oh well. You should do audition to play the new Thor. Thank you, but I'm not very muscular. Is this the beginning of weekly lives you've been doing? I've done I shouldn't say quite a few, but I think I've done 3 in the last week and a half or so. And I'm going to try to at least keep them weekly, maybe even more. It just depends on the effort. Send me free courses link. Again, dude, I'll drop it in the chat, but got to do a little bit of elbow grease yourself too, Make sure this is still right. There's one. Do that. Wait, babe. So there you go. Anything beyond that, you're going to have to figure out for yourself. Simo says, I missed those, unfortunately. Yeah, it happens. They're still on my channel, though. Although, yeah, I get it. They're not as much fun if you're not there live. Excuse me. Ahmed says, oops, no need to be oops. I dropped them all in the chat there for you, though. Not all, but a couple. That should get you off to a good start. So at 3:30, we will do our first excuse me, our first drawing. And if you have anything you'd like to talk about until then, let me know. Or we can just, I can just ramble for another 12 minutes. We'll do a drawing and we'll call it a day. Again, I didn't really have too much of an agenda today. I just, I don't want to get into the habit of not doing these again because I didn't do any for months. And that's, Carlito would spit in that space because it's not cool. Doubt anybody got that reference, but it is what it is. And let's make sure Instagram posted okay. It did. Instagram is a social network I've just never been able to get into. All righty. Alexis says, excuse me, guys. I've been learning how to use GSA SER. For those that don't know, that means, I don't know what GSA stands for, but it's a SER stands for search engine ranker. It's a software that, among other things, can build lots of links. But other than the famous Matt Woodward tutorial on YouTube, you maybe knew any other tutorials, pretty steep learning curve. No, that's one of the reasons I don't teach it is because it's got such a steep learning curve. You can tell it's made by programmers and not by without much end user input because it is very difficult to learn. But no, I don't. I don't even really know how to do a lot of what it can do. I have one campaign structure set up that I use for the service that we offer that we don't even sell that many of. And that's literally it. Hector says, Chris, at what point did you know it was time to hire help? Well past the time when I should have. When it was getting to the point where I couldn't do anything more. So I was as recently as like 2017, I was doing literally everything myself, all the fulfillment of like my orders on marketplaces, all my client fulfillment, all my sales, marketing, everything myself. And it was too much. And it was a bad decision. I should have gotten somebody a year sooner. As soon as I did, everything opened up for me. And now Georgie handles like 90% of that business. So the answer is when you have something you do more than once, and it's to the point where that time could be spent doing something that will help you grow and scale. So there's not like a clear way to stamp when you should, but that's kind of the equation I think you should use. Jade says, hey, Chris, what do you think of Mania being 2 days last year and this year too? I think it's good for the short attention span generation because normally it had been 6 to 8 hours the last few years before that. And the pandemic kind of forced their hand last year. And I predict it's going to be 2 days going forward. Alexis says, you're right. GSA Def looks like it was made for programmers by a programmer. Yeah. It has nerd written all over it, you know. Robio, what's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. Says, hi, boss. SEO King. How are you today? I literally could not be better, my friend. How are you? Always doing good. All right. In 9 minutes, we will do our first and maybe only drawing for a free month of Superstar SEO Academy. I should add a caveat to that, and that is this, that you will have to pay. I'll PayPal you it, but it requires you. Kajabi doesn't let me do a free month. So I'll have to be a $1 and I'll PayPal you the $1 to cover it. And then you'll need to cancel before a month is up if you don't want to keep getting it. So, you know, just want to make that clear. Ahmed says, I've 1,000 plus review at Fiverr, but I don't get order in Legiit. Chris, can you suggest me? I can get Legiit. I provide local citations service. So that's part of the problem is you're comparing apples and oranges. Just because we're both marketplaces doesn't mean that we have the same customers, and we don't. And there's so many people offering local citation services on Legiit that aren't getting sales because they're all the same. So you're going to have to come up with something a little bit more original that requires a little bit more effort, because the people on Legiit will, I mean, there are citation services that sell, but even my own doesn't sell that well. So, because people will either have their own team or they use something else. So that's part of it. But if you want, I can take a look at your services and give you some more specific advice. But I predict that that's part of the issue, is that if it's just citation services, that's not unique enough, you know? Paul, what's up, Paul? Paul says, hey, just got an email. Awesome. Hopefully you don't mind that. I occasionally get nasty replies to emails. Oh, you email too much, that sort of thing, which I kind of get, but I don't get the nasty replies. Just unsubscribe, you know? Jim says, what's wrong with nerds? Well, actually, that's one of my favorite candies, although I don't eat candy anymore. I want to make my professional career. I assume that means at Legiit. Well, thank you. I'd be happy to take a look at your service and see what I can advise. But if it's just citation services, that's probably going to be the issue. So, but I'll happily take a look for you if you want to tell me your username or drop it in the chat. Alexis says nerds rock. You know, I used to be really proud of being a nerd, but like I feel like the culture got co-opted a little bit, because like comic book movies got popular, video games got popular. All the stuff that made you a nerd when I was a kid is now like mainstream. So I feel like it got co-opted, so now it's not as special. Scott said, evening legend. What's up, Scott? Jim says, any preference for a tool to put together nice looking reports? For what? Like for SEO? For what kind of reports are we talking about? You think there is a market for GMB posts, including high quality image plus a video? Absolutely. Yes. I think that would be a great service. People love them some Google Business Services. Planning to make new services on Legiit, freshen things up. Any idea on what the market's needs is? So one thing I learned when doing some ad research I guess it's been a couple months now, is that there is interest in niche specific logos. So like, I can't even remember now, but like logos for bakeries, logos for restaurants, logos for construction companies, that sort of thing. So that would be one thing I would do if I had your graphic abilities, and then maybe we can get them ranked or send some traffic directly to them. So that's one thing I would like to see more of is, there's a million, I will design a flat minimalist logo for you, but there's no like specific. So SEO reports in specific. I don't really like sending SEO reports, but if you wanted to, what you could do is use agency analytics. That gives your client like a dashboard they can log into, or you can make it into a report, and you can pick and choose like which widgets it has. So whether it's, GMB clicks or ranking or whatever. And then also you could just export your rank tracker as a report as well. I don't really like reporting to my clients personally, but I do. So when I first started, I would do these like the in-depth manual reports that I would put together every month. But even with like when I was starting and I only had like 5 clients, that took forever. I was doing as much reporting as I was work. So I changed the expectation. Scott says template design for DIY website would be a service I'd consider buying. Well, there you go, Simo. Simo says, I got an order on my logo design service and it was a horrible experience. So your point was to make service. That's interesting. So your point was to make service such as logo design for SEO agency. Yeah, that's off the top of my head. Like I wasn't really prepared for that question. But that's one thing for sure, is that people are definitely searching for logos for specific industries. I don't know why, but they are. Everybody thinks that their business is like a special snowflake. So that's probably why. But yeah, that's one thing. What else? I don't know. I'll open it up to the floor. Any other people? Yeah. Simo is a graphic designer, visual designer. So any suggestions for Simo? Let us know. Simo says, thanks, Scott. I'll take that into consideration. And by the way, if it's because you had one horrible experience, doesn't mean that that's that logo designing is a horrible experience. Sometimes you're just going to get difficult customers. Those of you that work at Legiit know what I'm thinking of. Paul says, do you still do something with video SEO? It's funny that you bring that up. Have an old course of yours and really like it. I really don't, because it doesn't work that well anymore, to be perfectly blunt, to rank videos in Google, like especially for like local terms. How often do you see a video ranking for, city service? So no, I really don't do anything with video SEO anymore, other than like YouTube, internal YouTube ranking. And that's with these, Simo says, thanks, Chris. Thank you, Simo. People love confirmation. So when they see information or examples related to what they're looking for, they feel like they're in the right place. Yeah, that makes sense. Robert Doherty says, howdy. What's up, Robert? Simo says, that's an interesting comment. Thank you. Robert says, I'd love to talk to you, man. Sure. Let's see. We got down a minute. So let's go ahead and get our random number generator up here. And we're going to share the screen. Share screen. Alrighty, there are 27 people on right now. So, and don't start until I tell you. All right, we got 27 people on, and we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pick a number between 1 and 27 for a free month of Superstar SEO Academy. We will go until 3/31. Simo says, yeah, I rarely get hard clients, but this one was oof. Paid for 2 logos. I made 5 and got no reply. It happens. Got 7 from Brad, 4 from Keith. You're already in, Keith. Simo says 8. Chris says 23. Alexis says 20. Paul, I'll get to your question after this because it's like too hard to keep up. Hector says 11. Alan, you're already in too. Paul says 15. Mike says 15. Alexis, you already said 20. All right. Ones and stop. All right. So the highest number was 20 and the lowest was 7. So eight. Did we get an 8? Yes, Simo. Congratulations, Simo, with the 8 on the first try, no less. Thank goodness, because that can get kind of tedious sometimes. So just PM me after and we'll figure it out. So congratulations, Simo. Everyone, please congratulate Simo. Robert, yeah, just you can email Chris at chrismwalker.io, or you can PM my personal Facebook at, I don't really know how to tell you how to get to that. Just search for me. Yeah, really get hard clients, but this one was oof. Paid for 2 logos, 5 and no reply. It happens. Jim says it happens. Just luck of the draw. Some people are just hard to please. Yep. Ask either of my ex-wives. Heyo. Can you tell us a bit about the developments for audit? So the first thing was to get all the bugs that the AppSumo, and we'll get into AppSumo in the future, but the AppSumo promo exposed. We've gotten most of those now. The next thing I want to do is just redesign the way it looks. So that'll probably come in the next few weeks. And then after that, I don't know, it'll be kind of, I'll have to see what the most requested things are. So we'll go from there. I don't want to get featureitis and add stuff just to add stuff, but there are some things that it could use, I think. The big thing that the AppSumo promo brought up was the different languages. So I wasn't anticipating that in development. So. Let's see. Simo says, yay, I've never won something before. Brad says, congrats, Simo. Alan says, congrats, Simo. Alexis says, congrats, Simo. To be honest, I don't know what did I win. You won a free month of Superstar SEO Academy. Paul says, congrats, Simo and Chris. Nice fun addition to these live streams. Oh, well, thank you. Well, first of all, I find that it helps get more people turn out, and plus it's just fun. Do you use SAPE for PBN domains or other source? I don't use SAPE at all, really, anymore. I'm not sure what you mean about using SAPE for PBN domains. But no, I don't use SAPE at all, really. There's nothing bad, but yeah. What kind of backlinks are you looking for, Mike? But we have great guest posts. We have PBN vendors. We have pretty much everything you can need. So it just depends. I can recommend you someone based on your specific needs, but backlinks is kind of a big category. So let me know what you're looking for, and I'll point you to who I personally use, whether it's me or whether it's somebody else. Let's see. But I mean, you can tell pretty good who is good and who needs work based on the reviews and things like that. So, but again, it depends on if you're looking for guest posts. That's different than if you're looking for profile links, So I don't know how to make recommendations without more specifics. So I'm going to grab some water. Whew. My voice is out of shape. I don't know how musicians and public speakers do it. Matt says, have you heard of PBN LTD for PBN hosting? I don't think I have. Let me take a look. No, I've not heard of this. The website is very text heavy. But no, I don't have an opinion one way or the other, unfortunately. I've not heard of them until now. Scott says, congrats, Semo. Best dollars I spend per month is the Academy. Well, thank you for that, Scott. Very nice of you. Anthony says clown face. Anthony just turned 25, guys. Congratulate Anthony. All right, I'm running out of steam. We still got 25 people on, so man. Let me know what you'd like to talk about, and we'll get into it. Scott seems someone you want to be friends with. You don't know him that well. Ooh. Savage. No, Scott's a great dude. Congrats, Anthony. I'm glad everybody else is having a good time making fun of each other. Thanks, Paul. Again, Mike Silverman, if you let me know what kind of links you're looking for, I'll be happy to help you out. Brad says, did you have your donut today? It's supposed to have 2 U's in it. Man, let's talk about that for a second. I did it's April Fool's joke on April Fool's Day, which I guess was a week ago today, saying we were opening a donut shop / bakery that was the Donut DONUUT bake shop, and like I took I worked in a lot of like facts into it to make it believable, and I could not believe how many people bought it. I felt bad because people were so supportive. People I haven't talked to in years were calling and texting me, and I felt bad that it was a prank. I have a fear of tsunamis. It comes in waves. You know how you upset Lady Gaga? You poke her face. Chris, have you heard about GMBs tanking 24 hours after a GMB post? I can't say as I have. It doesn't seem like that would be the cause. I mean, obviously, I don't know the specific situation, but that seems really unlikely that would cause that, Now he's a great dude. He suggested something that he might buy. Yes, he did. Let's not go as far as a great dude, but does Semo also get pizza? There's never pizza. Brad says chuckle. I was actually sad about the fact that I wouldn't have a donut with you. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people really, really bought it, and I guess that's something I should be proud of, that people care that much or that believe in me that much. But it made me feel bad that I wasn't really doing it. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions in other places. right. Alan says, Paul, we've had several GMB to get suspended 24 hours after it went live. You just have to appeal and submit additional information. I think he was talking about a specific post, though. Like he made a post to the GMB. But I could be wrong. Last week, it happens with every client, and after 24 hours, ranking are completely restored. Too many times to be a coincidence. Interesting. No, I haven't heard that before. Arif says hello. What's up, Arif? In my case, no suspension, just the rankings that tanked. Yeah, that's really strange. I don't really know what to tell you there. That's the first I've heard of it, and even if it wasn't, it's very hard to troubleshoot, especially if it restores, you know. All right, we are about 40 minutes into this thing. We'll do one more giveaway before we call it a day. So stick around for that. Assuming my voice holds up. Mike says the value of citations in 2021. So it's not like 2017, 16, whatever, where you could just crush out hundreds and hundreds of them and rank, but they do have their uses. Like it's still a nice link from a strong, trusted site. What I would do is just do the main ones, and then like if there's some quality niche or location specific ones, you can do those. But I wouldn't just do all these like thousands of directories like you used to be able to do. Not thousands, but 300 and 400. So do the big ones, Yelp, Foursquare. I can never think of any off the top of my head, but do the big ones, fill those out, do a great job of optimizing, get them indexed, power them up if you want. But it's definitely not like Citation Crusher like it was years ago. Value of pointing links to CIDs in 2021. To me, that doesn't seem natural. I know that Rohin does it, and he's had some success with it, and I know some other people have as well. To me, I think nobody but an SEO is going to do that. So to me, it doesn't seem natural, and it's something it's temporary, Paul says, yes, it's almost like Google's telling me to stop posting. It could be. I don't know. Basco says, what's something you want to do in life but haven't had the chance to do? Learn how to do a kip up. I'm not even joking. Like that's been on my New Year's resolution list for years. And I just don't know how to do it. So that's the thing. If you want something a little more profound than that, I don't know. I've done everything else I want to do, more or less. Like I was thinking about that not long ago, that when I was 18, I was working in this comic book store that was not very busy. So, this was pre-internet, at least before it being the thing that everybody had, So I would just, make a list of what I wanted to do. And like, I lost sight of that list over the years, but looking back on it, I achieved everything on it and then some. So I don't really know beyond do a kip up what I would like to do. I'd eventually like to get to a point where I don't have to be, not that I really have to be now, but I would eventually like to transition into more of an investor role and things like that, and not as much of an entrepreneur. But that's kind of a vague answer, I have a question. I notice most web developers and Legiit are actually WordPress devs, and I don't see people asking for full stack developers. I mean, people who build stuff from scratch. I'm a computer science engineering student, and I'm majoring in web and mobile dev. I really want to freelance that as well. I'm not sure what the question is. What's the question there? Mike says thumbs up. I do web design, front end and back. Oh, excuse me, guys. And back end web dev. I could be everything you want, actually. I'm still not sure what the question is. I'm sorry if I'm being dense, but are you asking if there's a market for more than just WordPress, or can you just be more specific? Or like not even more specific, but just like clarify what the question is, because I'm not really sure. Well, that's interesting. Google has a dark mode. Arif says, I have a question. Google still love PBN in 2021. So here's the thing with PBNs. It used to be that you could just buy a bunch of crappy domains with good metrics and spun content and post a bunch of links and it would rank. That doesn't work anymore, in my opinion. But PBNs are just links. So if you can build high quality sites with real content that are optimized, then yes, they will still work if they're done intelligently and not just I'm sorry, guys. Not just, you know, a former Gucci purse domain type thing, you know. Forgot to mention, laugh aloud. The question is why people prefer WordPress devs over others. Because WordPress is easy. Like there's a reason that something like, I don't know, I don't remember the number, but a large percent of the internet, excuse me. That a large percentage of the internet runs on WordPress. It's because it's easy for like Joe Average to do that. And you don't have to custom code a CMS and things like that. Or is it just the SEO marketing? No, it's more than that, because beyond SEO, like most of the internet runs, at least as far as like regular website, runs on WordPress. That's not to say that other technologies and stuff aren't needed or aren't good, but that's why there's more demand for that. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't have that kind of service, because there is a need for it. There's not going to be as much volume for something like that. So that's why. I had somebody ask me the other day if there was room for blockchain developers. I told him, yeah, absolutely. Now you're not going to get a lot of orders because that's not something a lot of people are looking for yet, but it gives you a chance to pick up an order here and there, and more importantly, be ahead of the curve, because that's likely where the future is going. So same kind of answer for you, is that you're not going to get as many, but you'll get the ones that do need it will appreciate you more. So it's like, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but here the most bars have to close. Well, you know, pre-apocalypse, have to close at 2 a.m., but a few have a license to stay open till 4 or 5. And it's not worth it for all of them to get that license, but for the ones that do, they do very well. So it's one of those things where if you're one of the only options for a thing like that, it's going to do well for you among the handful of people that will take advantage of it. There's not the volume that there will be with something like WordPress, but there will be those people that do need it. So I hope that makes sense. We're going to have to go soon, guys. My voice is about shot. I don't know why. New York Prime. That sounds good. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I could go for a New York Prime right now myself. Scott says, I often see people asking for bootstrap devs in FB groups. I don't know what that is. So yeah, there you go. Do you advise me to share the dev services on the same account or build another one? Same account is fine. I had a $27,000 project for a blockchain developer last week. There you go. Simo says, well, that's huge. That's what she said. Matt says, any SEO used for creating review sites? So review sites, you mean like for affiliates, like best product of type, that sort of thing? Or do you mean like something like a Yelp? Or I guess what do you mean by review? But the answer is, if it's for affiliate review sites, yes. In fact, Google Webmasters put out something about that today. That I haven't had a chance to read yet, but I want to. But yeah, review sites are good. The only thing I hate about review sites is that like when I want actual product research, all I can ever find are affiliate sites. So it's frustrating because I know that there's an agenda there. So, I don't know. I don't really have a point to that, but Steve says him too. New York Prime dry age. Nick says how I don't even like to say that word because I'm afraid YouTube's going to ban me. But how the pandemic affects content, SEO, digital market. Kind of anxious as that's going to be another lockdown soon where I live. Anybody that tells you they know for sure is lying. But I'll tell you that since the pandemic started, both of my businesses have thrived. So both the SEO side and the Legiit side. So Matt says, yep, best product top 10. Yeah, there's definitely a market for those. Like that's what most affiliate sites are. So yeah, there's definitely a market for those. Now you got to do your keyword research well because like Venus Factor Review, I don't know if even that's still a thing on ClickBank, but that's going to be extremely competitive. But yeah, no, there's definitely still people love that kind of content, and it's easy to structure and easy to rank. So check out that Google Webmasters article. I want to read that myself later today. Semo says, Scott, yeah, actually Bootstrap saves a lot of time when it comes to responsive websites. I don't understand any of that shit. So I'm glad you guys do. Part of my language. Which is funny because like I went to school. I have an associate's in computer programming, and the web part of it was the one I liked the most. And then I have a bachelor's in information technology, and I don't know how to do any of that crap. So that was money well spent. I also have not the brain flex, but I also have a master's degree in public policy, and I don't use any of those. So this would be a good time to win a free month of Superstar SEO Academy because tomorrow's webinar, Jeff is going to be talking about ways to get free backlinks that move the needle. So if you're in Academy, you want to check that out. If you're not, you want to jump in, and you are going to want to be here in a minute or two when we do one more drawing. So yeah, matter of fact, let's get prepared. We will start at 3:54. Another one. So give one more giveaway, and then we're going to call it a day. Because I can barely talk. And going back to that ex-wives thing, that would be something they would have been okay with. So any other last minute topics or whatever, go ahead and drop those in. We're going to do a giveaway here starting at 3:54. And then we'll probably wrap up. This went by really quickly. So I'm glad that people came and participated, and nobody like last time told me to go fuck myself and things like that. So Paul laughs. Yeah, one good thing about being divorced is you always have a good punchline built in. So we got 28 people on. So pick a number between 1 and 28 starting now. And we'll go until 3:55. Assuming that anybody wants a free month of Superstar SEO Academy. Pick a number between 1 and 28. If not, then I won't give it away. Chris says 4. Anthony says, Chris says 16. Anthony says 4. Matt says 13. Brad says 11. Steve says 11. Paul says 20. Blog Cave says 25. Blog Cave said he was going to win today. Seun, is that right? Is that close? Alexis says 12. People probably wonder why I say Alexis like that, and it's so my Amazon Echo doesn't trigger. Lost my place. Scott says 19. I think there was a comment blocked on YouTube. I'll have to check that out in a minute. And time. All right. So the lowest number I got was 4, and the highest was 25. 4, 25. So generate 18. No. 13. If I miss somebody's number, let me know. Matt. All right, Matt. Congratulations, Matt. So PM me afterwards, and we will hook you up with a free month of Superstar SEO Academy. Congratulations, Matt. Where'd he go? Boom. Let's see. Arif says it's 12:53 a.m. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. Amazon is listening even if the echo doesn't trigger. You're probably right. Well, I guess they have to be, right? Otherwise, how would it know when you say Alexa? That says F out loud. Cool. Anthony says, congrats, Matt. Louise says, well done, Matt. Arif says, congrats. Congrats. Way to go. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes. Yeah, about 3 minutes left. So any last minute topics you'd like me to cover, let me know, and we will cover them. I was going to try to say something a little more profound, but didn't have it. This hour flew by. Congrats, Matt. All right. Anything else you'd like me to talk about? What it's like going through life being this handsome? Because, you know, it won't take long to cover that. Simo says Legiit is awesome. No better ending. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I also happen to agree. I really do need to shave. So we'll probably do that soon. All right, guys, we got 2 minutes left. It's a great session. We'll do this again. We're probably not going to get to it tomorrow, but yeah, we will get back to it soon. I already know that one. Abby Douse. I don't understand that. Ahem. Everybody drunk? All right, we got about a minute left. Are they doing Myrtle Beach air shows this year? I have no idea. Probably. I don't know if you can see it out my window, but there's an empty lot that used to be Myrtle Square Mall years ago, and they did a huge car show there a couple weekends ago, like thousands of cars. It took me forever to get into the office. So if it's something they regularly do, I would think so. On Instagram. All right. I wish I was drunk. All right. Not yet. Did somebody say something on Instagram? Let's take a look. Yeah. Not that I see. Apparently there's a joke I'm just not getting. So, all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a good place to drop off. Appreciate you hanging out. Congratulations, Matt. Congratulations, the other person that won, Simo. Just PM me on Facebook, and we'll figure out how to get you your free month Superstar SEO Academy. If you need anything else, let me know in the Superstar SEO Facebook group or Facebook or YouTube or wherever Chris M. Walker is sold. So as usual, ladies, gentlemen, and Jim, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again soon. And most importantly, figure out what you want out of life and go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. I'll see you again soon, everybody. Have a great day.